Hey everybody, this is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong, and I am going to try to quickly share a journal that I just finished tonight. My sweetheart is outside grilling steaks for us, so I need to make it quick, but I feel like I could probably talk about this journal for a pretty good while. This is a really big journal, and this is the first time I have used one of these. I don't even know what to call it. It holds a charm on the outside, and if you don't recognize this already, this is from the Junk Trunk kit that Jessica of I'm a Cool Mom most recently released. So I've enjoyed doing this very much. It's been a wonderful artistic and personal challenge, and I mean that in a good way, to take something that someone else has picked out and to put my own ideas with it. I loved the black coloring in the pages that were in the kit, so I decided to go with something that maybe was a little bit gothic. Let's just open this and get started. So the outside is black velvet. This hat, there is a reason for this. I have the key and this piece of hardware that Jessica provided in the kit. As part of my embellishing of this kit, I used a lot of pages from a vintage opera book, and it had a lot of pictures of Italian operas, and it tied in perfectly. I wanted to really stick with kind of a gothic, sort of old feel, and even a little bit on the, I don't want to say creepy, but you know, kind of a serious vibe. So I put a little charm in the front here, and this pen was part of the kit. This is kind of like a little cross there. I did the decoupage that was talked about in Jessica's tutorial video, and it was nice to do this again. It's been a long time since I've done decoupage. I think it turned out kind of neat. I put one of my stamps on the back. I really like this a lot. So I'm just going to go through. Just bear in mind that some of the pages are from the vintage opera book, and the pink and black pages, kind of macabre there, which is what I was going for. I just went through my things. I realized I stopped mid-sentence and went on to something else, but I'm kind of waiting until we get to here. These pink and black pages that were designed by Tsunami Rose and provided to Jessica, it's a combination of that and things that I added. I did do the little paperclip flower tutorial, and I like the way that turned out. I did a lot of embellishing with pink and black ribbon, and in here, this was a little envelope provided in the kit. I put a little piece of paper that was a cutout from the pages. I put my name, Junk Trunk Kit from Cool Mom, May 2018, so that I can remember exactly the origins of this journal. And I did use some ink to kind of distress and age some of the pages that were kind of a stark white. And there are still some white pages in here. In fact, I added some of my own white pages to leave some space for journaling. You can tell this is from the opera book, and that's some of my scrapbook paper. Oh, pocket there. I started to say, what in the world? So that's a very large journaling card that I put into this pocket. A lot of tabs. This vintage card was in the kit. Oh, I had to put this in. This is a little ATC card that I found recently on my quest for vintage things, and there's actually the name of the artist. I didn't do this. It says Suzanne Melvin, which is interesting. I'm going to have to look her up. But it says penny for your thoughts, and there's a little penny in there. So I guess Suzanne did this, and I liked it. I saw it. I bought it. I love the gray. It's kind of, the child looks pretty serious. So this journal was the right journal for me to take that out of my stash and use it. So just more. And this page, I actually messed that up with my sewing machine. I ran out of thread just as I started to put a tab on this page, and it did not come off very nicely. It didn't want to play nice. So it ripped the page, and I decided to leave it. And this page is just distressed with distress ink and some pink acrylic paint. So there's more of the opera pages. Just love the way the journal turned out. That is a rub-on transfer of a bee. I chose to use the doilies in the kit on the edge of a page. This is a little pocket that was a part of the kit. You cut it out and glued it together. And I just took an image from my opera pages and used it to make a little journaling card, which fits nicely into that pocket. There is a postcard that is kind of dark in color. Thought that would fit in perfectly. This was in the kit, a little cutout, and I stamped over the top of that. More of the pretty pink and black. The postage stamp was in the kit, as were a lot of the little cutouts that I used. I love the dogwood blooms. So I just used washi tape, and this bicycle was part of the kit. I probably covered up a little bit too much of it, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory what it is, and I like it. So this is another pen and a vintage button. Both of those were in the kit. Is that a bulb pen? I had never really used these until the last few months. So there's that same man he looks like he's dead actually, holding a cross. And this was a bit of the fabric. This beautiful fabric on the inside was part of the kit. So instead of using it for the outside cover, I decided to use it on the inside and use the black velvet on the outside. But there were a few bits left over that I was able to do some tabs on the edge of pages. There's another one of the tags that was in the kit, and the napkin that I used to decoupage. And the lace, that was in the kit, and I used that to trim the page. It's a vintage playing card. And I used that little cutout to make a pocket. Another transfer rub-on. And another page that I stained. I did some stamping and then just used a brush to brush some distress ink. And this, I have to talk about this image for just a second. This girl, and she is a girl, I loved this image because of the dark color in the background, and of course it piqued my interest to see, you know, just all the symbolism in this. And this person in the background is referred to as a black page boy. This beautiful young lady, and I didn't realize how extremely young she is until I started reading about the painting itself, and I left this in my journal. Her name is Mary Grimston. She was not even 10 years old when she died, but she was already betrothed. And this painting, I guess, is a part of the symbolism and the representation of her during the time that she was betrothed. She's holding a pomegranate, which signals virginity, and she actually got sick and died right after this, so she never married. But I was just blown away to find out that she was 9 years old. I guess I shouldn't be, because that was more a custom of that time, the 1600s. This says Baroque painting. That's a vintage library card. I just used washi tape along some of these pages for interest. Here is another little pocket, and I have more things that I'm going to use to embellish this, but I did want to go ahead and share this. There's a postcard from my stash, a card with representations of vintage playing cards. And some of these pages are from a book I had that is, it's architecture and stonework of Venice. So I thought that tied in really nicely. And this little card was a cutout from the kit. I used that to make a pocket. And this is from a ad is all I can say, but it's a promotion for a local art show that was a few years back, but it's got the artist's name on it and just that really tall house. Kind of bizarre, kind of dark. I like it. And I think this says Rebecca Rees, R-H-E-E-S. I cut into the name a little bit, but I'm going to look that up as well. This is wallpaper from a wallpaper book that I have. And as I flip through there, this is messy. I did that on purpose. I may go back and add some more to these pages. These are just, it's a combination of the pink and black pages from the kit, my pages from books and scrapbook paper. There's a little hiding place for writing. And this has got 4 signatures. Each one has 15 sheets of paper. This was actually the little, is that called like butcher paper, wax paper? That had something wrapped up in it that was from the kit, I believe. So I made a little spot to hide something in. I just taped that down with washi tape. There's more of the fabric. A little fabric tab that I had. More opera pictures. And again, there's more wallpaper. I love these cards. I've used these before. It was from a large fashion book. It was a board book as far as the pages. They're really, really heavy, but it was in 4 parts, and you could flip the feet, the legs, the midriff, the head, and change up the outfits that way. So I pulled out some of the ones that were a little darker. There's another bulb pin and a vintage button that was in the kit. And there, unstick that. So you can see I just totally went with a darker, I emphasized the black in this. I really liked it. Went with kind of a gothic theme. Oh, and I have to talk about this tag for a second. It's Romeo and Juliet Couture. And this is a clothing label from a dress that I had. And my friend Betty, who I just love dearly, and she has inspired me so much, when we first met and got to know each other, she sent me some of her journals, which are just fabulous. And one of the journals had this tag in it, and I just couldn't believe it. And I immediately texted her and I said, we're so much alike. I said, I have that same tag and I've been waiting to use it in the right thing. So the pink and the gray, it was time to pull it out, especially since it said Romeo and Juliet, because that kind of ties in with this whole sort of dark, romantic, theatrical theme. And I'm looking forward to putting more and more Like this page, I'll probably do something to that. And there's another that I haven't really done anything with yet. But it's still beautiful. It could be considered complete right now. I backed this piece of wallpaper with one of the pages from the kits. There's another vintage button and a bulb pen from the kit. More of the opera pages. And little charms that I've put throughout. Some beautiful pink ribbon. Dictionary page. There's another one of those cards with the elaborate outfit. And there's the inside of a great amphitheater or opera house. Let's see. Almost to the end, and I know this has been really, really fast, but I did want to share this. That's just a little journal card that I made, and same with this. That was some leftover scrapbook paper. And this was a little cutout from the kit. I put a stamp over it and then an ink stamp. So how many pages would this have? If each one has 15, that's 30, 60. Is this 240 pages? Could that be right? I need to add this up. I'm not so great off the top of my head. There's another sort of dark postcard with the water going under the bridge. This little doily was in the kit, so I just sewed that onto a piece of cardstock to make a pocket. There's another one of those cards from the fashion book. A stamp from Portugal. And I liked that that stamp was really dark. It's actually kind of dark gray black. So we're approaching the end. This little thing was in the kit. And this page was in the kit, which it tied in nicely with the pages from my opera book. There is yet another little pocket, and I have more things to go in this. This is one of my stamps, and this was in the kit. For due date, I stamped my little bird and put Nevermore. It's because I'm keeping this one. There's another interesting postcard. That's a Degas, and it says Harlequin and Columbine. I want to read a little bit about that. You can tell she's pulling away, and anyway, I used this fabric that I had on hand to make a pocket in the back, and there we have it. A big, beautiful, beautiful black and pink journal that is full of a mix of the digital kit or the digital kit pages, I should say, and vintage book pages. And of course the hat, I guess you see now, it ties in with the theatrical opera theme. About the outside of this, I started to do the tutorial for the curved spine, but I felt like with my time schedule and just wanting this to be sort of a straight spine, I didn't totally go for it. I did notice when I was working with this one that it seems like it would be pretty easy to do with Jessica's tutorial, just following those directions. I could tell that this would have easily bent, or you don't want to fold it in half as she says, but it would have easily curved and held its shape had I really gone for that. So I was glad to learn a little bit about that. And this is my completed journal. I hope you like it. Jessica, I hope you like it. I have really enjoyed doing this, and again, this one's going on the bookshelf for me to keep. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.